Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good day and welcome to the Delta Report on this Tuesday, the 2nd of August, 2022. Thank you for tuning in. What I want to talk about just for a few minutes is war and can they keep it conventional or will the darn thing go nuclear? You know? If we do get into it's already happened actually. We watched the build up. It took actually years. I was talking about it on my channel for like maybe 4 years in advance of the actual process of when it actually happened. And what I'm referring to is the war that's ongoing right now between Russia and Ukraine. Actually, I did shows on it. And, I took some heat. A lot of people out there said, you don't know what in the heck. They told me, this is what they told me. They said, you don't know what in the heck you're talking about. Russia will never attack Ukraine. This is baloney that you're putting on this channel. This is just fear-mongering. It's all a bunch of trash talk. It's nothing. It's never going to happen. Ever, ever, ever. From multiple sources, I got ridicule of over what I was saying about that. They said stick to finance. You don't know anything about geopolitical. Is what they told me. Different people on my channel, right? Now this was when I was talking about a war between Russia and Ukraine 4 years in advance of it happening. Okay? And so time proved me right. And in my show, I said that Russia was slowly moving toward a build-up and an advance into Ukraine. And that they had their eyes on Ukraine. And that they planned on moving through Ukraine. And ultimately, and I still believe it to this day, that the game plan could actually, if they can, let's face it, in warfare, the enemy will take what they can get. And I mean, in this case, they would have their eye on expanding as far westward as they can. And a lot of people find that hard to believe now what I'm saying. Because, like when I said about Ukraine, they didn't believe that. Why should they believe me when I say that Russia would have their eyes out to take as much and expand as far westward as they possibly can, if they could get away with it? And this is the way with war. I mean, your enemy is if he's got nothing to stop him, and he just figures, well, I can take as much land as I can grab. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. It's like a kid in the candy store. He's going to take as much candy as he can. If you're going to open the candy store door and say, here, you can have as much as you want, he'll say, well, I'll take it all. So what holds armies back is the best defense is a good offense. And I mean, you gotta be able to defend what you have. And I mean, it shouldn't be this way. We should have a planet where people are able to coexist without even having weapons. I mean, you should be able to just have countries where you can just sit back and the other country will say, sure, we're peaceable with you, and find a peace track, and then both sides can trade back and forth, unilateral trade, and they can just have free trade, and they can just, everybody in the world get along. But no, we've got this system that's come down from ancient times where they just want to annihilate one another and take the land and conquer, and it's like a big game of command and conquer out there. This is a nuclear age, so. And this is what makes this exceedingly dangerous, is because we have the technology now to blow the earth to smithereens, And, of course, Russia and China and United States now, because war has been started in Ukraine, of course, they're building up their defense and building up their offensive weapons as well. Hypersonics is all the rage right now. Let's build them as fast as we can. That's what they're saying. these countries, and that's what these defense contractors are doing now. They're building the new hypersonics just as fast as they can, and you won't even know what hit you with a hypersonic missile, because it comes in so fast. It just like it's burning so hot and fast, like Mach 11. It's just bang, bang. It's over. You don't know what hit you. And so the danger's here. The danger's here now, and it's right in our backyard. And China, they got their eye on Taiwan. So Russia's got their eye on Ukraine. China's got their eye on Taiwan. And are they going to take their eye off of Taiwan? Well, China's got their manifest destiny. They want to complete their what they consider the things that they have to do. They have to do this. You know, they got to march. They got their eye on it. They want it. And all the reasons why they want it, I can't sit down and make a list of reasons, because I don't know all the reasons completely why they want it. But they want it. I could go over and list the things that Taiwan makes of importance and why it's strategically important. But it must be as strategically important as Ukraine is to Russia. They're very aggressive right now over the strait between Taiwan and China itself. And what we have is we have Pelosi flying in there in an aircraft right now. And there's a lot of heated tension going on in that region. But that's not really why I come on to talk to you guys today. Why I'm here to talk to you guys today is one of the things that I'm wondering about, and I would have said no to there a few months back, but now I'm not so sure. And that is the question, can they keep it conventional? And what I mean by that is, if war breaks out in the Pacific, will they go nuclear and blow the whole world up? Or can they keep it conventional like the conventional war they had during in the 1940s during World War II in the Pacific Theater? Now I'm going to tell you guys, there was a time when I'd say no, it'll escalate and it'll get out of control and they'll end up using the nukes. But now I'm not so sure. Because I've seen what's happened in Ukraine, and I was very, very nervous when they first started the war in Ukraine that it was going to get out of control and end up becoming a theater of the nukes that start to fire the nukes off. But they didn't. They were able to successfully, so far, keep it conventional between both sides. I'm not so sure that maybe they can't keep it conventional in the Pacific Theater as well. At this point. Maybe they can. So, I mean, I'm hoping they can. But, can't begin to tell you guys how dangerous a time we're living in right now. Especially if we get a war going in the Pacific. I shouldn't say we get a war going in the Pacific. We're not doing anything. We the people. It's like our voice means nothing anymore. You've got the political sphere out there. There's no listening. That the people don't have any say whatsoever in anything that the political sphere is doing. They have basically, the way it's supposed to be is, the politicians are supposed to be like the dog on the chain. We're taking a walk, and the dog on the chain is on a leash. And that's the politicians. And the people are supposed to be in charge over the dog. What's happened here is they've become a pit bull, and they've broken the chain, and they're off doing whatever in the hell they want to do. And the people don't have any choice over any matter of anything anymore. No voice or anything anymore whatsoever. The political sphere is completely lost control over them. And now they make the choices for you and your family. It seems like the people don't really care anymore. They'll let them do whatever they want. If they want to blow up the world, but the people are oblivious to it all until they see the mushroom cloud over there or until they get vaporized. But then it's too late anyway because they don't know what hit them. Or the new hypersonics. So, I mean, this being oblivious to all of it and thinking, well, that's somebody else's problem or whatever, ultimately, it's going to come right back and smack you right in the face. But you're not going to know what hit you. You know? This is the kind of world we live in. Bad situation. But that's what I wanted to discuss today, you know, and I mean, okay, maybe I'm hitting kind of hard, but I'm telling the truth. Just like, you know, maybe you got a kid out there, you know, and he looks and says, Mama, why is that woman's dress so short? She's, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I think she heard you, you know, and it's trying to keep him shut, you know, because but nobody else is saying it. I'm sitting here and I'm saying it. You know? Nobody else is doing anything about any of this. Nobody's doing anything. They're just sitting back and they're saying, hey, we're heading right. We're all in a bus. And these crazy sons of guns are barreling toward the cliff. And we think nothing's going to happen. Why do we elect these demented people in office anyway to begin with? And how do they get in power? Well, I already know. I mean, maybe that's a rhetorical question, you know, but they represent the worst of mankind. Can't we do better as a species? Because if we don't do better as a species, I'm afraid, you know, I mean, of what's going to happen for our future. And, you know, it's kind of a black outlook, and a lot of people who can't believe. I mean, I can't believe this morning what's going on, how these people within the political sphere are kind of making excuses so that they can step into something that could potentially end humanity. And making excuses for themselves. Like, you know, one of the biggest excuses out there that they use is, we have to do this. You know? I mean, you never have to push the red button. I'm sure there's a guys out there in the bunkers who have the command and control or whatever, you know, and this is how they control the military. This is how it's all about obedience and structure, and you have to. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be obedient, you have to do. There's ramifications for things you don't do. This is true, you know. But do we have to blow up humanity? Because we have this concept that we have to be obedient, we have to do this, we have to push that red button. Oh yeah, we have to push that red button. And of course the other side, they have to push their red button too. And then we all got to push the red button simultaneously. Or the other side might win. Let's all push the red button. Let's all blow the world to bits. You know? Then after it's over, you know, when the last person out there is breathing in the last little bit of radioactive air and bleeding from the gums and their hair and their bowels are swelled 3 times as big as they should be, and they finally breathe their last breath. You know, I mean, what kind of a world? Is that what we want? The world that's just some alien comes to this world finally, you know, 1,000 years from now, and they land with their little flying saucer, and they land, they get out of their flying saucer, and all they find crawling around on the sand is a bunch of scorpions, but they see these skeletons, and they see us, you know, skeletons everywhere, and they're like, what did they do to themselves? Oh, there's another one of those stupid planets that believe they had to do this and had to do that, and they blew themselves to bits. Because then they go over with the Geiger counter, and it's like they hear the tick, 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 tick. The Geiger counter, they say, yeah, it's full of radioactivity. Yeah, they blew themselves to bit. There goes another world. They just did the same thing as 385 worlds behind them did the same thing. Because they're just following the line, doing what they're supposed to do, everything. You know? Without thinking. And this is what they train them in the military to do. They want a good soldier. It's a soldier that would be willing to actually kill himself or do anything that they tell them to do. It's like, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now you're a good soldier, you know? And what's it all about anyway? How did all this stupidity get started? What was the first source of it all? Did it make them better at defending themselves from dinosaurs or something? I don't know. I'm just theorizing right now. Anyway, catch you guys in the next show. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye bye.